All right, folks, thank you so much for joining this YouTube premiere. I know we wanted to go live, but hey, next best thing. I am so delighted to be kicking off our live draft with our brilliant captains, Paul and Jordan. Also joining me and hosting the draft are Orla and Niall. And it's going to be a fantastic, fantastic session. The folks have been battling out who's going to get first pick, but we're going to flip a coin for that. For now, let's get started for the All-Star Game 2025 presented by People Playbook. We're super excited to get started on this. And throughout the next 30 minutes or so, we're going to be drafting each individual player for our All-Star Game. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek into what's coming up in both the three-point shootout and the dunk contest. This year's All-Star Game 2025 is in memory of our late mother, Janet McGarren. I am so pleased to be doing this with her in mind and in her legacy. She loved children and she supported both Patty and I in our basketball careers, albeit Patty's basketball career was a lot more successful. Patty had a tremendous underage career representing Ireland. And what I'll always remember about our mother is how much she backed and supported him, even if it put her into debt in order for him to participate in the Irish tournament or the international tournament in Bulgaria. She loved us very dearly and she supported us in our basketball and loved children. And so this year's charity that we have selected is the Children's Heartbeat Trust. I have a good friend near and dear to us in People Playbook, David, who sadly lost a child last year and had benefited and was supported by the Children's Heartbeat Trust. So it's an absolute pleasure to be using this year's All-Star event to raise vital funds for that organization. And so to all of you that are supporting through donations or tickets, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I look forward to seeing you all at the event. This event would not be possible without the support of so many wonderful partners. I want to take a moment to acknowledge them and to call each of them out specifically. We've got the incredible The Malone Boutique Hotel who are putting up all of our All-Stars over the weekend of May 10th. Of course, we've got our New Forge Sports Complex and Event Hub, an absolute epic basketball venue in Belfast. Shout out to MTA Performance, The Sideline Live, Kennedy Business Finance. We've got Rework, ISO B-Ball, and our live stream partner for this year. So those of you wondering how can you join the game if you're further down south and you can't make the trip up, you'll still be able to join us on the live stream courtesy of Infinity 21. For those of you looking to join us live at the event, you can buy tickets right now at tccbelfast.com. That'll direct you to an Eventbrite link. You'll be able to buy tickets there. However, if you are with a basketball club competing on the island of Ireland, please do reach out to us at team@thecourtsidecollective.com or via socials, and we are happy to arrange a 20% group discount rate. All right, now it's time to hand over to our captains and our hosts. I'm really, really excited. We haven't been able to decide who's going to pick first, so we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. I've got a 50p coin here. So let's see. Jordan, head or tails?
Tails.
Tails. Jordan made the biggest trip coming up on a flight from Kerry to Dublin and then getting up from Dublin to Belfast. So tails for Jordan. Best of luck, everyone. The worst flick ever. Don't laugh at that, please.
Lack of rotation.
Lack of rotation. Not like my jump shot. It's tails. So okay. Jordan will get first pick. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Orla Keeling from the Sideline Live. And of course, Niall McDermott, co-founder of the Courtside Collective.
Thank you, Tony.
Brilliant. Thanks, Tony. Good to be here, Niall.
Yes, great. Exciting stuff.
First ever draft.
First ever draft we've done in this fantastic studio here, Speed Motion. So yeah, excited to get going.
Brilliant. Guys, I'll go to you first. You were at last year's event. What's your standout memory or moment of last year's All-Star weekend?
Winning the game was my favourite part. Last year, Team Dick, although it wasn't called that yet, but Team Dick won last year, so I was happy with that.
Jordan?
For me, it was just the atmosphere of the whole event. I thought it was put together very well. I thought that the structure and the planning of it in terms of how it started, what was in the middle, how it ended, I thought it was very well put together. So for me, it was just the overall running structure and atmosphere of it. It was just really good vibes, nice time, nice place to be for the weekend. So,
Speaking of planning, is there much planning with the picks?
Yeah.
I think a couple of our first few picks are safe that were different, and then after that we'll see. So
okay, will we get going?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Jordan, you're up first. Pick one.
Yeah, so my first pick, as most people predicted on social media this week, is going to be undoubtedly a really good friend of mine, Kyle Hosford from the north side of Cork. So yeah, Kyle is my first pick.
Yeah, Kyle Hosford, of course, back in the Irish team now. He had a brief retirement, but he was called back in. A very experienced player, warrior down in Demons. So make sure that Jordan team's going to be competitive anyway, that's for sure. Like.
Sure, you're not really a Super League player unless you retire twice or three times.
Yeah, that's just the stats. That's the Irish way, like, so yeah.
Paul, over to you.
Yeah, we didn't want Kyle on my team anyway. So just go for it.
Yes, you got.
My first pick is a guy who's retired as well. Hasn't been around the game this year, but we're going for Lorcan Murphy.
Yeah.
Lorcan has been off doing athletics all year. He's obviously a hot commodity in the All-Star game, and I don't want to get dunked on by him. I'm sure he has a year's worth of aggression to come back on us. So
Yeah,
Lorcan Murphy's going to go first.
Self-preservation. Make sure there's no videos of you getting embarrassed with Lorcan over your head. Yeah, like Lorcan was invited back this year, of course, because he was such a huge part of last year's games. Kind of like a legend in Irish basketball with his athleticism, which is perfect for an All-Star game. And also, of course, last year he recreated the David Durkin dunk, which was like, probably for me, like the biggest event, the biggest moment of last year's event. So
Yeah.
we had to bring Lorcan back again this year. Like, so yeah.
The way you're saying he's just doing athletics, he's actually doing really well on the national level as well. Jordan, back to you.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to change my initial thought process with this.
Steve, my guy.
Simply because there was some information let slip early in the conversations beforehand. I don't know if that was mind games yet or not, but he made some good points. So I'm going to take Aidan Harris.
Oh my God.
I also didn't know that Lorcan was available. I thought he was only here for the dunk contest. But yeah, Aidan Harris is going to be my second pick.
Boom, boom, drop step.
The double team is always coming.
Yeah, well, you see now, like, they've evened out the athleticism on both sides. Aidan Harris, of course, like, probably like the biggest star in Irish basketball in terms of social media following and everything else and highlights, real highlight player. So like now both teams have got like that sort of above the rim presence, like, which you want in an All-Star game.
Absolutely. Paul, back to you.
Right, well, we need to mix it up now 'cause I need some size, I need some size. I need the Aidan Harris stopper. And that's going to be my boy, John Carroll.
So John was my initial second pick.
John Carroll, another man who retired and made a comeback in Sligo this year. Just finished a great season with the Sligo All-Stars. Yeah, and as you said, like, John's like a big body who can match up with Aidan, like, so probably not as athletic as Aidan, but like, a stretch of floor, had a few shots for you, like, yeah. So
Can't believe Jordan fell for that.
Jordan, back to you. Pick three.
Yeah, so my third pick is going to be another Northsider from Cork. I'm going to go with absolute three-point weapon, James Hannigan.
James Hannigan, current 3-point contest champion from last year, and of course, yeah, as Jordan pointed out, one of the best, if not the best, Irish shooter in the country at the minute. Lights out from three, and it's good there if Jordan matching like the size and athleticism with shooting, like, so you see your strategy there.
Paul, back to you.
Well, I also need some shooting now, So I think I'm going to go with last year's game MVP.
Aidan Quinn.
Solid choice, yeah, Aidan Quinn.
Yeah, Aidan Quinn, like, yeah. So maybe some of those people thought were surprised last year, but anyone up around these parts knows Aidan's quality, and he had a fantastic game last year's All-Star game. And the All-Star game, it's a bit different to a regular game. We try and keep this game competitive too. It's not like the NBA All-Star game where guys just messing around. We put something on the line before the game between the two teams, and we make sure that people are competitive. But like, you just get a bit of space, and if Aidan gets space, he'll knock it down. Like, so it's going in, like, so.
Jordan, back to you. Is this turning into Team Cork or?
We're definitely heading back to Cork over the other side of the river now, though. Just for, kind of like Aidan, just a good floor general, good IQ, friend of mine for almost my whole life. So I'm going to go with Adrian O'Sullivan for my fourth pick.
Teammates in Spain, play professionally?
Teammates in Spain, yeah, we played together in Spain. I put in my contract that I had to live with Adrian if I went there. So we've been connected for a long time. So yeah.
I didn't know you had too many friends, Jordan.
Neither did I. I'm
really so popular.
I don't think they know either.
I don't think they know your friends, but at least that's you think. Yeah, like sure, Adrian had an injury recently, but it's good to see he just came back and played a few minutes last night. Obviously, as Jordan said, like floor general is the perfect word to describe Adrian. Like, very experienced, talented player. Like, so yeah, nice pick.
Paul, you're studying that list.
Yeah, I don't know which way to go. I think I have to pick up double trouble, Connor Quinn. Like, yeah, just get that going both sides of the floor now.
Get that twin energy in the game, like and of course, like
home court as well.
that's interesting factor. Like the game's obviously New Forge, fantastic facility, and like the Quins are obviously they practice there, they play there every week. That's probably could be a part of Aiden's MVP last year. Everyone likes home rims, so that's a lot of shooting on a team deck.
We got the 2 Quins.
Jordan?
Yeah, so I think I'm going to go with another. I don't know whether I should go with a guard or a big or a wing right now. I think I'll go somewhere in the mid. No, back to the north side of Cork. Sean Jenkins. Another good friend of mine from, a long few years. So
Strong theme going through Jordan's team here. A very strong Cork connection. So will that pay dividends? I think boys know each other well. He plays all growing up and they know each other's games.
Yeah, I also think that certain fire is within people from the north side of Cork. So I take 5 or 6 of them lads to war with me any day.
Is he the most like Jamal Crawford cross for Kobe, is it?
Look, like Paul's cousin was saying in the comments there. Like,
Do not let him see that reference.
Luke is made for an All-Star game.
yeah, maybe next year. He gets off in shape.
Paul, back to you.
Speaking of fire, I suppose I have to pick up Matt Tracy when he's on there. The second highest scorer in the world.
In the world, and the second in the world. Like,
Hopefully he continues that form into the All-Star game.
Yeah, and I think
Look at him. Trying to blow himself out.
he's not afraid of a shot. He's never seen a shot he doesn't like.
He's looking a little chunky in that photo now, man. Hopefully he arrives in better shape than that.
Now the food's good over in Iceland, but yeah, he's had a fantastic week in the season. I think he's had 2 near 40-point games this week, including 2 buzzer beaters. And yeah,
Who was the top scorer in the world? Do we know?
I don't know who the top scorer. Matt was at one time before. I think it was last year or something, or earlier in the year. Like he was top scorer in the world, But no, I'm not sure who it was this week. But second top scorer in the world isn't bad, So
Yeah.
fair play to Matt.
Jordan?
I think, there's only one left. Back to the north side of Cork. David Lehan.
Dave Lehan, yeah. Warrior of a player, again, another fire individual, I'm just a bit concerned about Jordan's team, under a bit of pressure now with all these strong personalities and cross-Cork allegiances. Is there room for a rupture here if things aren't going well in the third quarter?
We mix well, trust me.
Are you sure?
Dave knows where he falls in the pecking order, you know what I mean?
Well, that's the first sign out, so that's
Very thrilled to be on your team. Stay in your place, kid.
Okay, back to you, Paul.
Well, I need a bit of size to counteract Dave, most importantly, so he doesn't guard me, because he's a demon and he annoys me. But rap, we're gonna go rap with Vitas.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, push Dave around a little bit.
Yeah, he's at last year's Super League Young Player of the Year, and he's come on leaps and bounds again this year. He's improved again this year, big part of the Tree Warrior success.
Could probably win Young Player of the Year again. He's still within the age group, I think.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be in the running. He's like a big part of one of the best teams in the Super League. At such a young age, he killed us in a college game this year, 40 odd points, whatever. We just couldn't do anything with him. And he's not overly tall. He plays bigger than his size. I think. He's just.
I heard he is 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, but he plays bigger than that. He's real force inside.
He's reading the game there.
Nice choice.
Okay, the first 12 players are off the board. Let's take a quick look at how the two teams look. Team Paul, we have Lorcan Murphy, John Carroll, Aidan Quinn, Connor Quinn, Matt Tracy and Rap Bavitas. And Team Jordan, aka Team Cork, Kyle Hosford, Aidan McGeehan, James Hannigan, Adrian O'Sullivan, Sean Jenkins and Dave Lehan. Niall, what do you think so far?
I just feel bad for Aidan Horace there with 6 a rough experience for him. But yeah, strong Cork connection, but Paul's team has a lot of shooting. A lot of guys in that team can stretch the floor, whereas a lot of power and strength in Jordan's team. So interesting matchup so far, and there's some still massive names left on the list. So wherever they go could really decide this. I think in the last few picks.
Yeah. Jordan, you've ran out of people from Cork. Who are you going to go to next?
I'm going to go strategically now. I'm going to lock into game plans, and I think with Aidan and Kyle, I'm going to need another fella that's able to play in a ball screen and throw lobs. So I don't think there's a better player left on the board to do that than Josh Wilson. So Josh is I connected with Josh over the last few years. Really good guy, can really play at a very high level. Obviously, he was the player of the year last year. Josh.
Yeah, like not bad getting like the Super League Player of the Year this late in the draft. Like, you know, it's a huge pick. Josh, of course, pretty sure he's the longest serving American player in the Super League at the minute. Pretty sure about that.
Someone fact check him.
Just don't fact check me there, but I'm pretty sure. Like, yeah, and he's obviously a really experienced player. He's really excited to come to the game this year, and Super League Player of the Year. What more do you want? Like, you know that, like, you know.
Yeah.
I was going to leave him the last to try and knock his confidence for next weekend.
I don't think he's a man. I don't think his confidence gets knocked very easily. You know.
Paul, over to you.
Okay.
Wearing your Leicester colours.
Yeah, so left on the board, Paddy, Max, James. So we don't actually know who Christophus is. Only a few people here have actually seen him play. All right.
Yeah.
I'm good with my size, James Gormley. So what am I going to do now? I suppose, look, I pick my boy Paddy.
Paddy.
I pick my boy Paddy because he's upstairs. You're going to lock down Josh Wilson, that right, Paddy? 100%.
Yeah, Paddy, very experienced Super League player. Of course, again, another guy played in his home court, looking for that hometown hero. So yeah, the Lincoln will look star.
Paddy strokes it.
Yeah, he does definitely on New Fords, like, you know. So yeah, solid pick there.
Okay, we've 4 remaining. Jordan.
Yeah, Paddy was in my thought process until he let out that comment before we started. So you can have him. I think.
What was that comment?
I think I want a little bit more, you know, dynamism, a little bit more creativity. So I'm going to go with Ramon Nelson. Absolute microwave, can come in for 2 or 3 minutes and absolutely light you up. So I've been on the opposite end of that a couple of times. So I want to see what it feels like to be with it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Limerick Sport Eagles are on the opposite end of that one of the games this year. Like, you know, just like so quick, you know, and then like such a hard guard, because if you do try and step off him, you know, he's lights out from 3 as well. Like, so just like you said, microwave sort of player. Like, so yeah, he's sort of guy can just go off in 5 minutes and get you 15 points. Like, so yeah.
Reunite him with his old teammate Josh as well.
That's right. Okay, that backcourt going back together.
I heard they didn't like each other.
We're about to find out.
Paul, your second last pick.
I'm going with Max Richardson, another home court shooter. You know.
So this quickly turned into like a Star against Cork. Here we got all the Star guys in one team, all the local heroes and Newports.
Radiating confidence.
Yeah. So like again, so yes, we got the New Forge boys, like all the guys practice there. So clear strategy appearing here from the 2 captains, like, you know, Cork against homegrown talent.
Jordan, your final pick.
My last pick, I feel like I have a lot of guards. I think I have good balance of bigs with myself, Aidan, and Josh can be a big at times too, but with Dave. But again, when Aidan's out and one of my point guards out, you know, I have multiple point guards, so another lob threat is something that I would definitely want. I think would give me a lot of balance in all positions. So James Gormley for my last pick, definitely deserving of a higher pick. But as you all saw, I was getting all my Cork boys in
Getting
first.
the Cork boys in first, like, yeah.
It was, definitely my boy James.
That's another steal, like, this late in the draft. Like, James Gormley, he had a bit of an injury recently, his ankle, but he's really improved a lot this year, I think, you know. He's running the floor a lot better. Like, he protects the rim. Really, like, if he catches the ball anywhere close to the basket, you're just not stopping it. You always guarantee 2 points, like, you know. And his improvement this year under Ian has been huge, I think. So, like, it's a huge get, like, this late in the draft. And it's a lot of size now on Team Blount. I don't know how you're going to deal with that, Paul.
Yeah, Paul, your final pick.
Well, we're going to counteract that with Lucien.
I have to speak up for Lucien, man. Lucien can play.
I just haven't seen him play. I've never met him. So
He had a lot of slack here now. You know what I mean?
He looks like a baller. I
He's
wore
just
that
going by Dave,
I wore that same wristband last year of the All-Star game. Got a bit of style.
Man, Lucian's going to come on here, I think, with a bit of, like, you know, a bit of chip on his shoulder, like, you know, but also, like, he's played in the same league as Matt Tracy. His team just won promotion to the top division, you know, and the players in the North will be aware of him because he's played for his Northern Ireland connection. He's played in the Northern Ireland 3x3 teams trying to qualify for the Commonwealth Games. So everyone up here, Paddy's played with him, like, you on the same team, so they're aware of his. You've got a good player there.
I'm super hyped to meet Lucian.
Yeah, you got a steal.
Yeah. I know it.
Jordan, looking at your team there, what's your overall thoughts?
I'm extremely happy. I think, people might say, oh, you went all Cork, but I think with the Cork guys, we have a lot of balance of bigs and guards. We've got Kyle at the point, we've got James and Sean able to play 2-3, Adrian playing 1-2-3, myself and Dave, and then obviously Aidan, big size, James, big size, and then we've got Ramon and Josh. I think we have a lot of firepower, a lot of versatility, a lot of size. I see a lot of matchup problems for Team Paul, if I'm honest. I'm extremely happy with how that went.
Paul, what's your reaction?
Quite the opposite. The opposite. I think we're good. I'm looking across at the matchups, and I feel like everybody in my team could lock up the person on the white section of their team, especially the guy on top, especially him. So I know, obviously we don't know if Lucian can guard James Gormley yet. But, I think we're going to do it. Yeah, we're going to go all the way.
Trash talking has already started. Niall, what's your overall thoughts?
Yeah, Paul's went for a strategy of home court shooters, and I think if that plays out, if those shots are going to influence guys to home court, they'll be hard to beat. But it's a risky strategy. If the shots aren't falling on the day, I think Team Jordan are going to have a lot of aggressive physical players there.
Stiff. They look like a very stiff team over there, do they?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, you call it Quins can move, Paddy McGahern can still move it even at his ripe old age.
Matt and John there, that's a stiff 4-5, you know what I mean?
Matt's been doing yoga in Iceland. Guaranteed. He's out in the boonies in Iceland. He's nothing else to do.
WD-40 is what Matt needs.
He's getting flexible. God knows how flexible Lucian is. Nobody knows that yet.
As well as our All-Star draft announcing the players, we also did a very scientific, rock, paper, scissors, best of 3 before the draft. Niall, will you announce our coaches for the game?
Yeah, so very excited to announce I'll be coaching Team Paul Dick, and our other coach is Sean Engel, and he'll be coaching Team Jordan Blount. So I'm already thinking in my head of all the wee sets we're going to run. It's going to be like 2017 Warriors, all those shooters just running around, floppy action coming off screens. I just don't think Team Jordan are going to stand a chance to stop that, to be honest. Sean Engel will have to get into his defensive playbook to try and come up with some strong strategies. But yeah,
I have to give him a call over the next few days.
Yeah, will there be a few training sessions?
Is the court guy is going to be to their new coach?
See, I'm not. So they got Dublin guy coaching them. I'm not sure. Sean, is he going to be able to handle all those egos?
I think Jordan said he's really coaching today.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Jordan's the real coach.
We'll give him a quarter. We see how it goes. We see how it goes. As you said, it's a lot of Cork boys. It's look. We'll see how you go, Mr. Engel.
Right, I better wrap it up, but we're just going to continue the trash talk here. Okay, before we go, both guys are going to take us through their teams.
Yeah, so my first pick was always going to be Kyle, nobody else. Very happy with that. My second pick, a steal. Even though he might say he tricked me, he didn't. Aidan Harris at second. Number 3, sharpshooter James Hannigan. Number 4, floor general Adrian O'Sullivan. Number 5, Jamal Crawford, Kobe Mick, Sean Jenkins. Number 6, the ever beastly David Lehan. Number 7, the versatile Josh Wilson. Number 8, the flamethrower Ramon Nelson. And number 9, the gentle giant big turf James Gormley.
Paul, over to you.
So we have Lorcan coming out of retirement, right? We're looking at the cross matches. Jordan doesn't think that Lorcan can guard Kyle. So we'll leave out Lorcan. Lorcan's going to come today. Niall says Lorcan's been doing athletics. As if that matters. He's been practicing running and jumping. We got John Carroll.
Bit stiff.
Yeah, he's looking a bit. That size is going to come in well against Aidan Gion.
Aidan's coming down.
I know, but boom, boom, drop step won't like when it meets John Carroll. Double team is not coming. So we have Aidan Quinn versus Jim Hannigan. It'll be a great matchup. We got Connor Quinn, double trouble, and then to add Matt Tracy on the perimeter, you know, there's flamethrowers. And then we have the enforcer, Rapavitas. He's probably going to be pushing Jordan about. We Paddy McGarren, known for his Paddy defense as his pattern in that right. Will that work against Josh Wilson? I think so. Max Richardson against Nelson. Two English guys can guard each other. And then Lucian, you know, the freaking Christophus, the wild card, and pumped to meet him. And I think we're going to play great together.
Okay, Niall, for your expert opinion, although you are coaching, but the trash talking aside, what you think?
Yeah, honest opinion. Like, I think my coaching skills I put to good use. Like, you know, in this game, like, trying to get this team Paul's put together. I don't think defense was a priority for him when he was selecting his team, but we have a lot of weapons. We have a lot of shooting, and you know, when I look at Jordan's team is physically quite strong, very aggressive team, but are they going to bring that same fire in an All-Star game? Time will tell. Like, that's maybe their strength, you know. But in an All-Star game, I think we've got the guys a bit of style, a bit of pace, a bit of shooting in the perimeter, you know.
So it takes a bit of finesse in an All-Star
Yeah,
game.
in an All-Star game, you know. I think we've got last year's All-Star game MVP coming back again, you know, Aidan Quinn.
Sit in the 2-3 zone in an All-Star game, like.
Lucian is the steal of the draft. Like, so I've seen Lucian play, so we have a steal of the draft at number 9 with Lucian. So, but look, it's going to be hard to beat Jordan's team. They have a lot of experience, they have a lot of size, they have a lot of strength.
All that finesse isn't going to work when James Hannigan is picking you up 94 feet. You know.
I don't know. I feel sorry for Sean Engel. So, like, Sean Engel's got a lot of work to do to control these Cork boys. It's going to be.
Sean Engel's going to have the easiest job of the weekend.
Yeah, because you'll be doing you'll be doing all the coaching. You'll not be letting them coach. So.
Okay, next up we're going to take a look at the 3-point contest. A little bit of a different format this year with the winners of the men and women facing off against each other. Yeah,
excited to see. We saw some great shooters again in the contest. Returning champion James Hannigan, you know, sometimes like in the 3-point, like you've in-game shooters, doesn't always translate to the 3-point contests. It definitely did with James last year. He's excellent in-game shooter, and last year he won the contest. Ramon Nelson, it's unfortunately torched us this year in the National League. He's been putting up, he's one of the top 3-point in makes and percentage in the National League this year. And then Mark Burns, young talented player from Belfast here. He was an Irish under 16 team last summer. And like I know he is super confident. He's been talking a lot of trash, but he's going to surprise some people, you know. And that's what you want. That's what you need in a 3-point contest. There's going to be a big crowd there watching, you know. And it's good to see like a young player, 16 years of age, ready to step up. Again, in the women's side, we have, you know, 3 fantastic shooters. Hazel Finn, of course, now Irish senior women's international, transferred to Liffey Celtics this year. And she's been like a good shooter. I coached Hazel when she was on the under 16 Irish team, and she's been, you know, getting better and better year on year. And she's like a very good 3-point shooter. Justy, who I have not seen play before, but I'm assured by fellow co-founders of Courtside Collective, Tony McGahern, that she is an absolute flamethrower. She has participated in contests like this before back home in Lithuania and did very well. And apparently she just doesn't miss. So looking forward to seeing her shoot. And then Charlie McGrath returning again. Good in our Belfast connection, who's been lighting it up for the Ulster Rockets in the National League all year. So it's going to be tough to pick a winner in that one. You know, just who shows up on the day, who has the confidence. So excited to see who finishes out on top.
Because it is a very different dynamic to a game. You're shooting with a big crowd. I'm excited to see what Mark Burns does in the event.
It is like sometimes, you know, you hit the first 2 shots and then you're off, and then your confidence gets up and you're flowing. If you don't make a shot in that first rack, it can be the opposite effect, and the pressure grows. And like, you know, some of these players will be used to that pressure, some of them won't. So it could all depend on that first rack and how it goes on the day.
Guys, what do you think about 3-point contest? Any thoughts?
I picked the 2 lads for a reason. 2 great shooters. I think James will take the trophy home again this year. Back to the north side of Cork where it belongs.
Everyone's about Cork, just north side of Cork.
Funny, last time I was in a shooting competition with James, I beat him on his home turf in the Mardyke Arena. You know? He's a jump shooter,
I
you know.
remember that.
He's a jump shooter, so I don't know if he's going to like the 3-point contest. Like, he jumps a lot in his. Ramon's a set shooter, you know. It's made for the set shooters. But shout out to Michelle Clark, who won it last year, my cousin. Unfortunately, is preoccupied that weekend, right? She's busy, so she won't be there to defend her title. But I feel like I feel like Justy, feel like Just Day is going to be the wild card here and win it.
I'm excited to see Mark as well. I got to coach Mark over the Christmas period and has a whole lot of potential. And as you said, does not lack in confidence, which, I love, I admire that. So, I'd like to see him take it if it's not my boy James.
And finally, we'll take a look at the David Durkin dunk contest. Niall, a star-stacked contest this year.
Yeah, so we brought back the 3 guys who put on such a good show last year. Everyone really enjoyed it. Larkin obviously won the dunk contest. It was an unfair competition, really. Once he recreated that classic David Durkin dunk from 2012, there was going to be no one else who was going to win that trophy, But this year, I think Connell and AJ will come back with some new tricks up their sleeve. Connell goes for more sort of like the entertainment value, tries to put a bit of humour in his dunks and tries to, a bit of showmanship, whereas AJ's a very technically proficient dunker. He'll try the stuff that's just technically really difficult to pull off. And sometimes doesn't get appreciated, but he's a super athlete. So excited to see. And of course then, Eden Harris, who probably averages the most dunks a game of anyone in Ireland this year, He is super athletic, big body, and he throws it down with force. So it's going to be a great show. Great to see MT Performance sponsoring it, because I know that Mark Thornton behind that, David Durkin was one of his idols growing up. That's one of the reasons he got into doing what he's doing. He was always so impressed with David's athleticism. So to make that connection now and bring it back, it's just ties everything together, and it's fantastic to see. Yeah.
Amazing. Guys, what do you think? What can we expect from the dunk contest?
Yeah, 4 great athletes. I don't know Connell myself, but I saw him last year, and I've seen AJ obviously played with Larkin and Aiden. I think that Aiden is a whole lot of power, but he does have a bit of style to him as well. You see, he can go between the legs, he can do windmills, he can do 360s. So I think I'd be surprised if Aiden didn't take that home. Although, as you said, Larkin's been practicing his running and his jumping, so you don't know what he might be coming in with. So, but yeah, I'd be going with Aiden.
Paul?
It's a funny one. I really liked AJ Walsh's attempts last year, but he just missed a couple, And just looking at that picture, I think he should try and dunk with his eyes open. he might not miss them, because he was trying really hard stuff. So I actually think he's a dark horse. I can't remember Connell's dunks from last year.
Yeah, me neither.
I've never heard a dunk contest participant been called humorous. I'm not sure what that adds to dunks.
It's showmanship. It's showmanship.
Okay, underdog. We'll give Connell the underdog. Ian, he's a monster. And everything he does is going to look super strong and powerful and flashy. So it's hard to root against him. And then Lorcan, when you haven't played basketball in ages and you go back and you can jump a little bit higher. For me, it's I might catch a dunk and warm ups these days. I don't know what that looks like with Lorcan when it comes back. Is he just going to be sky high, or is he going to lose the kind of fluidity of movement that it takes to do all these freaky dunks? So it's hard to call, but my dark horse is AJ Walsh.
So you have a few dunks next week before the Aina game?
No, we fixed the rim now, so we have two full height rims. There's no more dunks coming.
Brilliant. I can't wait. And there's more tickets available. And be sure to check out the live stream with the dunk contest, 3-point contest, and the game available on YouTube on the day.
Thank you so much again for joining in. I'm really excited to wrap this thing up. Once again, a huge thank you to our captains, Paul Dick and Jordan Blount. You have fun?
Absolutely.
It was brilliant, yeah. Looking forward to the event.
And of course, to our brilliant hosts, we have Niall McDermott from the Courtside Collective and Orla Keelan from the Sideline Live. Good event, ready, excited?
Can't wait.
Yeah, excited. Hopefully it'll be as good as last year. So yeah.
I think it's going to be even better than last year. Make sure you get your tickets now at tccbelfast.com. And if you can't make it to the actual event, don't worry, we're going to be streaming live. Definitely live this time. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon.